everyone. Welcome to today's edition of the Gamut Network. I am not going to waste a lot of time because we have some story for you today. And I am so honored to have the guest on the show today that we have. And without further ado, I'd love to welcome Arlena to the show. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing this very personal and quite remarkable journey that you're on. Let's start a bit about you. I know that you had a fairly typical, healthy life for most of your life, but lead us into our discussion.
Thank you for having me. I am 29 years old, born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. I was in the Navy for 8 years. I just medically retired in April 2018. I'm diagnosed with a rare disease called neuromyelitis optica. You're right, like I really did live a healthy life, but tragic happened, but I turned that tragedy to triumph, and I am here today, and I'm so honored to be here.
We're definitely extremely honored to have you, and thank you so much for your service. So, I want the viewers to understand that at 26 years old, when you had already been in the Navy, I think you said 7 years, 8 years,
around. Yes, I was in the Navy for 6 years at that time.
You were experiencing some symptoms that something was wrong. Tell us about that.
So, being in the service, of course, you have to be physically fit. You have to be in shape because you always have to have all these tests done. You have to do a physical test and all the nice jazz. I noticed something was wrong because I'm already small. I'm petite. And when I start losing weight and I couldn't fit my chef coat or I couldn't fit a military uniform, I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So I went to go get it checked out, and that was in March. In October of 2017, that's when I noticed it was getting more progressive. I got a colonoscopy done. Then 2 weeks later, I started experiencing these symptoms. I couldn't feel my ring finger or my pinky finger on both of my hands. And literally, I worked out that Friday, ran 2 miles, went to go see my best friend, and literally I had to drive back from Virginia to DC. And I went to the hospital. They said nothing was wrong. I went there twice. And then literally, I started feeling weaker and weaker. And then literally, I had to call my cousins. Thank God you had family. I had family, and they literally picked me up from my apartment and drove me to the hospital because I couldn't feel my body from the neck down. And the doctors, they was doing all these tests. I couldn't feel parts of my spine. Then 2 weeks later, I got diagnosed with neuromyelitis optica, which I call the evil stepsister MS because when it hits with a vengeance. I wasn't able to myself. I wasn't able to write, text. Literally, I couldn't do nothing. Only thing I could feel is literally my left hand.
As a 26-year-old woman, very accomplished in the Navy, give us a little insight on what that felt like. I mean, you must have been terrified. You must have been, searching for why me or any other questions. What was that like at that stage of your life?
Stage, I felt exactly what you said, why me. I felt weak. I felt like defeated, confused. It was just really hard. I couldn't even describe it. It was just like my life just stopped. Like everything that I accomplished, it was like stop. And then once I was told that I wasn't able to be active duty anymore, because I wanted to do 20 years and travel the world, and I wasn't even finishing accomplishing all my goals, even though I accomplished most of them. But my goal was to be able to do more stuff, and I found my niche. Thank God, like God comes a full circle. I learned how to mentor people and be more compassionate, but it was just flabbergasted. I can't describe it in words. It was just really, really hard. And I was young, so I'm just like, how does this happen?
Exactly. And we even forgot to tell our viewers the most unbelievable part of the story is at that time they gave you 6 months to live.
Whew, yes. So while all this is going on, I moved from DC back home. It was so progressive that I had lesions all the way in from the neck down in my spinal cord. It was so progressive that if I didn't start chemo, it would have attacked my brain. I would have died. So I started chemo from January until May of 2018. When I was discharged that Memorial Day weekend, I literally was given 6 months to live and a 1% chance to walk. What kept me going during that time when I was getting chemo, I needed something to keep me motivated. And I finished my last 2 classes online while I was in the hospital. So I had my little headset with my one little finger speaking, and I finished my last 2 classes online. Because I was supposed to graduate and re-enlist January 5th, 2018, that same day. But it just felt like that was stolen, taken away from me. So I was like, no, I'm getting my degree and I'm going to finish it.
I love that. So it sounds like, if I'm kind of underscoring what you said, you had the motivation. So when the doctors, said to you, you have 6 months to live, were you, was your reaction like, wrong girl, because I have so much more to do?
So to be honest, 2018, it happened so fast. There was so much going on. I was on so much medication. I didn't even realize that they gave me 6 months to live until the following year because I was on so much medication. Like, I should have known that I had 6 months to live because I was in hospice. And everybody knows me in hospice. It's like the last of the last. So once I realized that, I was like, wow. And also another part of my journey is last year, during that time, I was in so much pain because the nerve pain, it was so unbearable. I would have these episodes where it would burn and it would sting, and I would have muscle spasms all at the same time with these episodes. So I was on Dilaudid, which is a high dose medication. And that got even worse, that I even was put on fentanyl. And last year, when I was on fentanyl, my port had clogged up. So I had like a port, and it was right there, and it ended up getting clogged up. And even though that was tragedy, because I actually ended up start foaming up in the mouth and I had a seizure. But that next day I was like, get me off fentanyl. So I was on 350 milligrams of fentanyl. I start weaning off that, and I got done weaning off that this year, not March this year. That was 2019. So March of 2020, I weaned off fentanyl.
Amazing. So, and just to give everyone a little context, I just want to reiterate that you were 26 when this happened, and now you're approaching 30, which is so exciting. That the doctors were wrong, and you have not only exceeded everyone's expectations, but they said you weren't going to walk. I just saw you previous to us recording walking. And there is really, even in the short time I've gotten to know you, you are an unstoppable woman. And I want to know a little bit more about how you just previously mentioned that you are giving back. Tell us a little bit about that.
So with me giving back, and like I said before, I was in the military. I didn't know that I had a big heart and I love mentoring people. So now ever since I'm getting better, I feel like giving back. I want to mentor young girls, especially girls who have visible and non-visible disabilities, because with that being said, I didn't have that, like I thought I had that confidence. Now you can't tell me nothing. So I want to be able to give back and show young girls, like, regardless of what you're going through, you're still confident. You just turn whatever you're going through, whatever situation you're going through, what makes you happy, do what makes you happy, and make that part of your journey to build that confidence back up. Because right now I'm mentoring two people with my disease. I am the NMO advocate for the state of Kentucky. So I have plenty of meetings with that. Also, I am becoming a mentor in my sorority, mentoring young girls between the ages 6 and 10. So we're working on that. So that being said, that's what I want to do with giving back. And also, I am participating in a pageant called Miss Veteran America 2021. It's the 10th anniversary. And I want to use that platform to also be a platform for women, veteran women as well, because it's not a lot of young veteran women of my age that's out there. And I want to be that voice.
I love that so much. And by the way, you already are that voice, so you're accomplishing that already. What would you say to your 26-year-old self now that you are where you are and what you are doing for other young women? What advice would you go back and give to yourself?
The advice I'll give back to myself is to pace yourself, be more patient, and do what make you happy. Because my 26-year-old self was doing so much, I was trying to accomplish so many things that I forgot to take a step back and take care of myself. Yes, I want to help others, but if you're not okay, then you're not going to be able to help others. Like, it's just like pouring from an empty cup. Like, I could have this big old tall thing of Starbucks coffee. What do I love to get? Strawberries and cream, or my caramel latte.
Okay.
But if it's cold, I can't give somebody that nice cold strawberry and cream if it's like hot and the whipped cream is melted off. You want it firm. If I got it firm, I want to make sure you get the same thing that I'm getting. Or if that latte, that caramel latte is hot, I want to make sure you get it while it's hot. I don't want to give you no cold room temperature caramel latte. Like, I want you to receive the same things that I'm getting.
Agreed. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you to learn more about you and or maybe want to get involved in mentoring, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
So my Facebook is Arlena Johnson. I have Snapchat and Instagram is Lily So Sweet, LELE So SOOO with 3 O's Sweet.
Perfect.
Those are the best ways to contact me. Also for the pages that I do follow, we at the Samara Foundation. Oh, shout out to Miss Samara Flowers. Like, she's awesome. That's my NMO sister, my NMO family. So those are the things that I'm very involved in.
Oh, I love it. So before we go, I'd like to ask my guests one final question. And our a vision board and manifesting what you want to happen in your life. If we got to peek onto your vision board or got in your head about where you see your future, what would we see?
Our future. I would love to, since there is more publicity and more highlights of people who have visible and non-visible disabilities, I would love to create a national or international TV show about different diseases and different visibilities, so people could actually learn and be comfortable with it. Because not a lot of people or accepting of it. Like still I could walk around right now. Like I seen someone in a wheelchair. She was fabulous. I said, "You look fabulous." She was like, "Thank you." And I was like, "I was just in a wheelchair too." And that's another thing. I could have a relapse of my disease and I still have to be able to accept it. Yes, I'll accept it and I'll still be fabulous with my hat on and my makeup and looking fine. So
Yeah.
I want people to be able to embrace that. And I want to share like more people be accepting in relationships because a lot of people are not accepting being in relationships. And this is not even just a romantic, I'm talking about family oriented. I want to spread it to people caregiving because a lot of people react to things differently. And I had to learn that throughout the process as well.
I love that. And
My biggest vision.
exactly why we started the Gamut Network. So someday we will be on some network, some television. So how about this? When we actually are on, you'll be a guest on our actual television show. How's that sound?
No problem. I have no problem doing it. Just call me up and I'm willing to do it.
Amazing. Well, it has been such a joy and delight to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your amazing story. And I cannot wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much for your support. Because without you, if I didn't, like, I was just looking for different things. Without you and having that bravery, and then you being a mother of a child, I wouldn't know what to do. So for you to actually start this from the ground up, like, I commend you as being a mother, being a woman, and still being able to take care of your child. That's a lot of hats to jump on. Oh, and shout out to my mom, my dad, my family.
Yes.
Yes, I know I'm being professional, but that's my personality coming out. I can't help it because without them, God, like, I would not be here. Like,
and I feel just as fortunate to have been able through this process to meet you. So thank you for being a part of my life and sharing your story. And it has been a real honor.
Thank you so much.
If you would like to be on the Gamut Network, please email us at talent@gamutmanagement.com to tell us why you'd be a great guest. Please also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Gamut Network, as well as follow us on social media at Gamut Management. Thank you again.